Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to our session using the awesome one-shot exploring the quick start to Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, as we dive into the Untold Legends. Before we jump into player and character intros, I'm going to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors and let you know what they have set up for you all. I want to first say to Session Zero Clothing with D&D inspired streetwear, take your fashion to the next level with Session Zero Clothing. Go ahead and use the code ORDER at checkout for 15% off. After that, we have Norse Foundry. They have artisan dice makers, and I mean, you can't really have tabletop without a little bit of shiny math rocks to really up the experience. So check out Norse Foundry, use the code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off. And after that, we have Roaming Player Gear, amazing tabletop gaming supplies by our own GotGM. I mean, let's be honest, you can't have a tabletop experience without unnecessary amounts of accessories to prove that you really have an obsession that no one can quell, much like the dragon that you are. Go ahead and use Carnaby20 for 20% off the Dice Tower Dice Tray Combo Set. And we're using Mithril Armory, our amazing giveaway sponsors. They are creators of insane dice, tabletop tiles, and gaming accessories, and we'll be doing a giveaway for them after the mid-show break. The code that we will be using is BALANCE. Much like all things in Avatar, it is a push and pull, the ebb and flow of all things we know to achieve this balance. And we also are proud ambassadors of Jaspers Game Day, a charity trying to raise awareness and prevention of teenage suicide. Please check the links in our About section for more information. And let's now dive into the players you have come to see as they enter the land of Avatar. We're going to start off with the top of my list, Aragidi.
Aragidi, Malazi. Hello, my friends. My name is Aragidi. Today I am playing Uuwi Shiicish, who is an icon, an earthbending icon who defends grave sites deep in the wilderness. Yeah.
Delightful. And after that, Beau.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beau, and I will be playing the lovely Kallik. They are of the Hammer playbook, and they are an outlaw pirate, and use their water bending to get the advantage on the high seas.
Delightful. And we're going to reach over into the flames that they are. We'll start off with Rachel.
Hi, my name is Rachel Beauregard. I'm playing the firebender successor, Tozi. She also has some hand-to-hand combat, and she is the privileged background.
Oh, of course. I mean, Fire Nation, aren't they all just privileged in their own rights with their flames? And much like that privilege, Casey.
Yeah, so my name is Casey, otherwise known as Alpha Blue or Alpha Blue Official on Twitch and all the other stuff. I'm going to be playing Tazu, who's going to be a privileged firebender who has a militaristic background and upbringing for, I guess, reasons unknown at this point, but we'll find out.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to find out, and it's going to be exciting. And much like we fan the flames, the air carries the winds of success. We're moving over to Christine.
Hey everybody, I'm Christine, also known as Slumberjane throughout the internet. I will be playing the bold airbender, Joey, one half of the best delivery team in Ba Sing Se.
That's so delightful. If you want to get your mail delivered quickly, you get one half, but you can't have half without the other. Bree.
Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Flame. I can be found on the socials at Brianna Flame. I am going to be playing the airbender using the Guardian playbook of Sai, and she is the other half of the best dang delivery team in Ba Sing Se.
Delightful. And oh hey, what can I say? It's J Casual, all social media at Just Too Casual or Twitch at Casual Creativity. And I am the one who just got skipped over for being the avatar. So instead, I get to be the storyteller, which I think might make me just a little bit better than the avatar. As we dive into the Untold Legends, we'll be doing a quick intro rolling into the session. And don't forget to enter for the mid-show giveaway. You will enter the code BALANCE for that. And we'll talk more about that when we reach the break time. So we'll be right back after we get the intro.
I'm excited.
Oh, and now we enter the land of Ba Sing Se, considered the capital of the Earth Kingdom, where we sit at the pinnacle of mountainous, where the earth never trembles, never shakes in fear of whatever's to come. And today, or at least the following days, are an important one. As you see flyers across Ba Sing Se, people send whispers and talk amongst themselves. We have entered the festival of the Stone Crown. This is taking place during the era known as the Roku period. Approximately between 30 and 15 BG, for those that know the Avatar timeline, this is taking place roughly a decade, well, a few more decades, I believe, before the passing of Roku in the timeline. This is currently believed to be the 48th king who is celebrating his son's birthday, where Prince Jiang is excited to celebrate, well, being a prince of the most glorious kingdom in the Earth Kingdom. And during this time, Prince Jiang had sent a mail out to some noble friends, specifically those friends across the water near the Fire Nation. Tazu and Tozi, you were both in miraculous quarters in the capital of the area, the inner circle, where you have yet to see any moment where you weren't properly fed, bathed, and given everything you desire, sometimes in abundance. And even if you weren't asking for it, servants are around to deliver whatever it is you need. And it has been a long day as they prepped you for the festival itself. We have a few hours before the sun is expected to go down, and you are being led to the main streets of Ba Sing Se, where the festival is getting prepared. And the two of you are being led with a few of your guards, and Fire Captain Boku is kind of guiding you to where the other Earth guards are kind of leading. While you're walking, tell us, Tozi, what do the citizens of this inner circle see as this privileged Fire Nation individual is walking across?
Excuse me. Oh gosh. Tozi is very sharp, very fashionable, very shiny. She looks like somebody who comes for money. She's not shy about it. She's very observant and calm pretty much at all times, while just projecting this bad bitch type vibe.
So what I'm hearing is Azula, but done correctly. Cough, cough. Whoo! And standing next to Tozi is the other dignitary from the Fire Nation, Tazu. What do the citizens see?
You're going to see kind of a scrawny but tall looking, about 15-year-old boy who is wearing militaristic style clothing and has one of those tight buns and emerald eyes. And he's a bit nervous, a bit awkward, not quite knowing how to act in a place that isn't truly just regimented and strict. So nervously looking about, trying to figure out, okay, who's in charge here and what are my orders almost. So
and you'll notice, though you see Fire Captain Boku, the one that's kind of walking in front, helping lead, is structured much like you are, but you see a lot of the Earth individuals who are prepping this festival. It's chaos. People are moving stones and boulders around, lifting pillars and columns, and you hear somebody, oh no, that's not correct. No, Prince Young must have it exactly this way. If you don't have it this way, it will not be okay. And then, oh God. And you can see this like scrawny individual carrying stacks of papers and other stone is being rolled around as he's stumbling around, dropping paper as he's trying to get the festivities prepared. And then quickly Boku stops as this finely dressed male steps in front, exposed arms with a few what appears to be Earth-like tattoos and a smile that seems to go for miles, hair in a bun, sealed in a green, like almost like bonnet type thing to keep it secured, and a curtsy before you. Ah, my friends! There's Tozi, Tazu! It is so glad to have you here. Oh, we're gonna have a great time. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Honestly, I'm almost worn out just by the preparation of everything. Like this place, like I'm thinking of getting like a second home here because this whole place is just it's so much busier. I expected it to be very calm, but it's it's fantastically bustling. Huge fan.
Oh, it's amazing. Truly, it is the greatest place to be because we can get anything we want. Watch. Claps his hands and you see it. Two individuals shifting on Earth come up. One holding a tray that seems to be like tea, and another one holding a series of cups, and one bends over, allowing you to pick up one of the cups.
Well, that is fancy.
And then the other one comes and pours the tea, and then steps back and just seems, and you notice they're not looking at you. They keep their heads kind of bowed just below eye level.
I'm cool with that.
And Tazu, would you like a drink as well?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thank you.
Of course. Well, we're still getting the rest of the festivities prepared, so please look around as much as you'd like. I'd like to get a few things ready before the official ceremonies begin. So the town is yours to explore, but don't go too far. I'll have a few people kind of ensure that you're brought back at the start of the festival. Until then, for now. And you see him immediately just rush off without even actually hearing a response.
He's just so fun.
Right, but I'm wondering why everything wasn't done ahead of time. This is why everything is scrambling around and not prepared. This is a prince, right?
Yeah, but like, I think he's a bit flighty in terms of decision making sometimes, like when it comes to fun. So he probably just had last minute ideas, or maybe, he was too busy doing all the organized military political stuff that, important people have to do. And this was all last minute. So it's actually a reflection on how good of a leader he is.
Oh, do you think that they're given more than 20 minutes of rec time?
Of what time?
Recreation.
Meanwhile,
I'm sorry, are you asking if he schedules his fun?
Yeah.
and as that conversation goes on and you explore this part of the inner circle, at the next outer circle, at least one foreigner and another one who's more familiar with the region are moving through the second ring of Ba Sing Se. Kallik, you have entered Ba Sing Se after an arduous entrance process, but you've heard that it would be incredibly difficult to get a Ba Sing Se. There was so much rigorous interviews, investigations, and so on. But it appears that the Prince Yang wants everyone to attend. So a lot of the border control has been extremely lax to just let people in to party. So you were able to make your way in through with very minimal questioning, and you are in the second ring with only a name to go by. And people are taking notice of a foreigner walking through, but more importantly, Kallik, what do they actually see?
They would see a rather tall person with long brown hair that's kind of windswept and salt burned and not really all that well kept, but they are wearing a blue tunic that is cross-folded in front with these kind of fur trims around the shoulder. No sleeves, however, they are wearing a belt with a large kind of buckle that has a water tribe symbol, and these these armbands with wraps around them. They carry a rather large gourd on their side, and they have a very kind of determined look about them. They're kind of looking around, and it's almost like whatever they have their attention on, that's what they're going towards. Almost like a shark looking for prey.
So as you're kind of moving around, you do see a pretty intense bustle as people are doing quick trades. People are trying to bargain between items, selling goods from clothing to festival gear to fireworks to so many items are just being sold in these streets. It's kind of intense, very much so. What are you going to do?
So Kallik is going to be looking around and try to see if there's anyone that seems to have like an air of authority or know like where things are in the area, somebody who's like directing.
You don't see anyone so much like leading anything. You do, out of everyone, see someone extremely more so charismatic than others. Yes, come one, come all. I have all the things you need and things that you didn't even know you wanted, but I have it here. It is the Festival of the Stone Crown, and I have everything you'll need to ensure that you look the part and feel the flow of festivities. And this is the only person that seems the most exuberant of everyone.
So Kallik is going to beeline it for that person. And it's very much going to be like pushing past people. Like you can imagine the scene in the anime where everybody's kind of like looking back as Kallik is just walking.
And most people are kind of like focused on just doing what they're doing. So as you kind of hit, they like glance for a moment, but they feel like it's not worth their time. And you are maybe a few feet from this sales individual on the street.
Hey, you!
Ah, yes, you've come to buy the wares. I'll tell you, I do nothing but deals that are ever so fair. What can I do for
okay,
you?
that's fine. Do you know somebody named, what was their name? Peridot?
Oh, I have Peridot, I have Emerald, I've got Sapphire, I've got Ruby.
Not the stone. I know it's a weird Earth Kingdom thing. A person named Peridot.
A person named Peridot. This too seems to be a paradox. You appear to be in peril, my friend. Let's see what I can do to peruse your gaze upon what I have here.
Good Lord, get to the point.
How about this? You buy some of my wares and I'll tell you what I know. Does that not sound fair? And as this is happening, Uuwi, you are moving through the streets as well, and you hear a familiar voice, this charismatic charm echoing through the streets, and you can hear the tone, another person who seems to be on the brink of being swindled.
I'm just gonna make my way towards all of the drama.
And as you make your way to the drama, moving through the crowd, people do give a short glance here and there, but tell me specifically, what do they see?
They see a rather tall and broad kingdom person sat on top of their gemsbok with face paint to match the markings of their steed. Scarf around their hair in a tight bun behind them with what appears to be a bone tied through, and staff behind their back, and a giant cloak covering up most of their body.
And as you get closer, all you see is, so tell me, young water child, what can I do to make it worth your while? If information you
Water
seek,
child?
let your... I mean, you're wearing the blue, and I'm telling you, that's not a common hue.
Don't talk down to me.
I mean, I'm not talking down, but I mean, I suppose if maybe you were a clown, but that's not true. A person in blue is nobility, is not true. So tell me, you've got coin to spare, so I tell you once again, what you like of my wear?
And you know where this Peridot person is.
I know many things. I know many places. There's not a bit of information that I don't know about. So stop with the screaming.
All right,
Stop with the shouting.
This. What is this?
That's not enough. Please tell me you've got more. Come on.
You're looking for Peridot?
Oh, I see you as well. Would you be looking for something?
Yeah, I'm looking for... Do you know Peridot?
I know of Peridot. I, too, am searching for...
All right, well, this guy says he knows where he is, so we can get in on this together, you know.
Ah, yes, if you have coin to spare, I'll tell you just the same I've said. There's many death to hear. We bake a little bread, and I give you some facts.
Just tell us what we need to know. I don't have time for the games. I really don't.
I like their attitude.
Fine, give me what coin you have, and I'll tell you what I can get.
What coin I have? No, just tell it. I'm gonna grab them by the collar. Just tell us where they are.
Oh, whoa, excuse me, all the violence.
I'm just going to put a wall up between the two of you out of earth.
And the person stumbles back. I see we've got someone who's a bender. All right, listen.
Wall would go up. Kallik would jump back into a waterbending stance, pop the gourd, and just be ready and be like, "Whoa, chill."
Okay. This is more than I bargained for, so I'm just gonna. Yeah. No. If you're looking for and you could see the stammering, the nervousness as Kallik, you'll feel a hand kind of press you on your shoulder opposite of where Uuwi have come from. This individual in a dark brown cloak seems to be very dingy looking, kind of places a hand on your shoulder and just says, Peridot knows you're looking. Enjoy the festivities and you shall be found.
Fine. Is there games or something I can do?
Just make your way to the inner circle, and then you feel their hand press on your chest, and you hear the sound of crumpling paper for a moment, and then they start to walk away, and you'll see they have slid what appears to be like a pass to get into the inner circle.
Okay. Kind of look at it. What is this?
And the person has already walked away. As soon as they dropped it, has just disappeared into the crowd. And you'll see the shopkeepers kind of packing up their stuff, trying to not make eye contact with you.
Well,
They've been given a pass to get to the inner circle. And you will also notice that there has been one kind of, you'll feel somebody touch your side for a moment, and you'll feel that in your clothing as well, they have put in a pass as well.
I'm going to take it out and just look at it.
And you'll
Well-
notice that in that same pocket, you'll feel there'll be a small peridot gemstone. You recognize what this message means, that you've been noticed.
Do I get a peridot?
You don't. Uuwi has
What's this?
understanding enough to know this fact.
Well, brother, I suppose it's time we head to the inner circle.
Not.
We will feel that we will be noticed in time.
Where,
Some
I
fun.
know I'm from the water tribe. I mean, it's pretty. I'm wearing the. How much? How are we related?
We are all siblings. Hop on.
And as you make your way, preparing and conversing, much like many moving around, a breeze rolls in as a leaf is carried across, passing your face, Kallik, and that breeze moves all the way through to another part of the outer ring, as two individuals are meeting with an individual also in a brown cloak. In an alleyway behind a tea shop, the smell of this herbal tea blending together is aromatic and refreshing, as two technically foreigners but natives to Ba Sing Se are being given a parcel for delivery. An elderly man in a brown cloak, tattered much like many in this area. Yes. This must be delivered to Fire Captain Boku. It will be at the Festival of the Stone Crown. You will find them in the inner circle, okay? And you see him reaching out his hand, holding a letter shakily, trying to hand it to one of you two, of Saya or Joey, whoever is picking up the letter from the old man.
I will. Oh,
If you want to go for it.
okay. Saya will take the letter and bow her head. Thank you. I have, and she has a small pouch that she's fashioned out of cloth on her side that she starts putting in the paper to and
he kind of lifts his head a bit to get a better look at you. So tell me, what does this old man specifically see, Sai?
Depending on the height of this old man in stature, he may be looking up a bit at her. She's a taller female, thin built, but actually somewhat muscular arms. She has long dark hair. She's kind of pulled back, although it seems to always be coming loose and just falling down again, wearing orange robes that just steadily flow around in some really light leather fashion shoes.
Oh, thank you. And remember, this must get to the Fire Captain Boku.
Okay.
Let nothing stop you. Let nothing interrupt you. This is very urgent for the Emerald Enclave. Yes?
Of course.
And if anything happens, if anyone stops you, we ensure that the Emerald Enclave will allow force to be used if necessary. That is the importance of this. And he glances over at you, Joey, and I hope you both understand. As he looks over at you, Joey, what exactly does the old man see?
If the old man is shorter than Saeed, then Joey's probably about the same height as him. While her sister is very elegant looking, she's a little bit scrappy. She's got a flapper hat made with like white fur and some wooden horns on the top of it. A really old, like beat up leather jacket that doesn't quite fit her correctly. You can tell it was probably found somewhere. And the airbender wraps and ties like these underneath the jacket. Kind of standing there like elbows or scissors, like, you hear that? We can use lethal force.
I don't think he said lethal, Joey.
Semantics. And she turns around and walks out of the building, or out
Very
of the
important. And Sai will kind of glance over again, bow her head, and say, "Thank you. Have a good day," and follow after Joey.
And it's been a long day. We are reaching close to where nightfall is coming. The sun has started to descend as the festival prepares itself. Each of you are either in or has arrived in the inner circle by one way or another. And the music begins for the festival. The first thing you hear is a mighty explosion as light illuminates the sky above. A rainbow of colors, of yellow tones, some softer gold that then shifts to silver, some red that shifts to blue, and then moves around and just showing different symbols in the air. One of the earth, one of fire, one of air, one of water, and then one specifically that Jiang has called True Stone, because that is how he has emboldened himself to create his own symbol of his own pride. And you'll notice that many people are dressed in ornate garments to show performative, long flowing skirts for some, other have weared very minimal clothing to allow maximum use of their earth bending, but it has become a glorious spectacle of dancing, music, and the smell of fresh food, unique and exotic across many nations, can be smelled, some familiar to your home, others beyond exotic that you couldn't even imagine. And each of you are allowed, as a member of the festival in some capacity, to enjoy whatever it is you wish. It is basically an open bar, open restaurant to consume as much as you'd like without contention. And as this is happening, an individual in the middle of this festivity stands firm, unmoving, unflinching, without a response to anything, dressed in the Fire Nation garb. Fire Captain Moku walks over towards you, Tozi and Tazu. Please ensure that you do not partake too much in the festivities. You have a job to do. You must uphold the image of the Fire Nation at all times. This spectacle is nothing more than that. Act with dignity. And look specifically over at you, Tozi.
Honestly, I don't know why you're looking at me.
Well, at least one understands what it means to be an officer of the military, so I have no qualms in that behavior.
Well, I'm not in the military, so I'm not representing the military. Maybe I'm representing the part of Fire Nation that likes to have fun.
We're not here for fun. We are here for image. We must uphold it. And then,
yes, Captain. I think he's mainly worried about you.
You think?
And through this crowd, it's many people dressed like, well, the Earth Kingdom. So it doesn't take long for you, after a while, Joey and Saeed, to take note of the individuals dressed in the Fire Nation garbs. You do see at least one older male who seems to be talking to two other younger individuals. I think you're muted.
You think that's them?
I think so, yes. I also want to have a conversation with you about your inclination towards violence lately. It's getting a little concerning.
Oh, it's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Worry about it? That's the thing I do all the time when it comes to you, is worry.
I know.
I know. I'm sorry. I should stop harping on you about that. You said that man over there?
I think there aren't that many Fire Nation people here, so it's got to be one of them. And the other two, that one right there shaking in his boots, and that one's not dressed for fighting. So I'm gonna have to go with the tall guy. You want to take it? You want me to take it? I'll take it to them. I always wanted to meet Fire Nation people.
Well, we'll go together. Let's go together. Okay. Okay, fine. She'll start walking fairly quickly, like briskly, almost lightly on her feet.
And as you do, you hear the tail end of the older male speaking. Just whatever you do, just ensure you don't embarrass us.
Whatever, I'm getting cheese fries.
At this point, Joey and Saeed, you would be approaching.
Are you gonna call out to them? Because I think Joey's gonna just start screaming.
That's in character.
Joe's just gonna be like, "Hey, are you Fire General?
Captain
General?
No,
Boku?
Yeah.
You Boku?"
And like both Tozi and Tazu, you see the captain immediately, like you can almost see smoke coming from his nose as a hard sigh rolls his eyes and turns. Yes, I'm Captain Boku. What can I do for you?
We have a letter. And she extends it and bows her head.
And he like looks you up and down, reaches for it and takes it in his hand. And he kind of turns it and notices the seal on it. And then Tozi and Tazu, you notice uncharacteristically, he like breaks his stance. He's normally very stoic. You see almost like his body stiffen as much as you could imagine from someone who has that rigid military form. Well, are you looking for a tip or something?
No, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't need tips.
Well, here's your tip. Stop being urchins and find a better purpose in your life then, and we'll turn around.
Ah, letter must not have been that important then.
Can I give them a tip?
What? It's
gonna
always,
reach in-
look, it's always gonna be a no if you don't ask, right?
I'm gonna reach into like whatever purse or like my jacket and just like give them like, whatever the currency is. Like, I don't know. It's a banana. What could it cost? $10? And just give them some money.
And then you see Boku doesn't even acknowledge. His eyes is fixed on this letter. I will return shortly. And without like looking at you and noticeably without giving the typical salute of any kind, just walks away. And I want to emphasize walks, does not march in the typical pattern. It's almost like a hurried pace.
Do you think he wanted us to stick around for a return letter? He didn't say nothing.
No, I think it's fine. He wasn't exactly the most pleasant one we've spoken with today, anyways.
That's
And in this moment, you do see what appears to be a couple of younger Earth Nation children kind of coming up, dressed in their best ceremonial garb that they can. And seems to be a trio, one girl and two boys, and they're all wearing like flowy clothes as they all kind of dance their way towards you. And they seem to be trying to dance and perform and you'll notice that one of the smaller boys' eyes is fixed on the money that just passed by and is like dancing towards the money away from the formation a bit.
I think Joey would have taken the money from the girl and said, "Thank you kindly, ma'am. It's very nice to see that the first impression of the Fire Nation doesn't have to be a bad one this time." And eye the kids. She puts the money in her jacket.
And they're just performing uncomfortably close, as you can tell they're not very good.
Oh, yes, great job. Look at your little feet go. I think they're wanting money.
Yeah, so do I.
No, you're
I
doing so
think I
good.
earned
I
more.
should get a real job then.
Yeah.
Stay in
You can see
school.
Like the soft, discouraged look as they start dancing away from you. And then you faintly hear, over the sounds of the crowd cheering and dancing, you hear the sound of fire, like a roaring flame for a moment. Different than the explosion of fireworks and the sound of shifting earth, you hear a short distance away, probably behind one of the closer buildings, this roaring fire.
Tozi,
Yeah, I hear it.
did that sound familiar?
Yes, it sounds like fire, but like, do you think it's food related, or do they have weird carnival games here involving fire?
It sounded angry.
It sounds like something Boku should be dealing with.
Guys
What?
want to go check it out?
Maybe it was him.
Wait, you think he... Oh?
Wait.
I mean, he'd really hate it if we like invaded on a personal moment, so I think we absolutely should do it.
Right, we should absolutely stay here, right? What were you saying?
I want to look at the airbenders and just be like, you guys seem fun. Do you want to like go spy and like have fun?
I mean, we don't have any more deliveries, right? Say,
No, that was the last one of the day.
game on.
Sure. I'm Sai. This is my sister Joey.
I'm Tozi. This is Tazu. We are not related. Please don't make that assumption. You guys look great. I love your matchy palettes.
Well,
Thank you.
And once again, you hear this roaring flame. This one a little more, sounds like more of a jet stream of fire. And much like Tazu said before, this one's angry, though angrier than the last one.
Yep. We should check that out.
Yeah, You said you wanted to stay. If we're gonna go, let's go.
Nope, changed my mind.
And as you go, sometime before this encounter, Kallik and Uuwi, you have made your way into the inner area. The festivities are nice. You have yet to have been encountered in any moment that involved Peridot, though you're open to the most of the festivities.
What's like the best local delicacy?
There's a specific form of like a rice bowl they have that uses a special blend of a lot of like herbs to get accentuated flavor. And oddly enough, despite it being Earth Kingdom, they do have it used with a little bit of a fish blend to get this special flavor palette to it. It's a very dangerous fish, and it's typically only found in shallow waters. So it's, yeah, that sounds about right.
Would Kallik know that the food here is all you can eat and free?
What would you say Kallik's natural understanding of cultural circumstances would be?
Not very much.
Kallik has no idea if it's an all you can eat. You don't see anybody tending to the food. You do see some people like nearby replacing some of the food, but you don't see anyone buying food.
Hey, what was your name?
My name is Uuwi.
Uuwi. Can I just eat this food? Like, is it free? Do I have to pay for it?
Oh, apologies for misunderstanding. Yes, you can eat the food.
Yes. And Kallik is going to jump off of the Gemsbok and go and just start grabbing plates and just stuffing their face. I haven't had food in days.
And as this is happening, you see 3 young children dressed in some ceremonial Earth Kingdom garbs, 2 boys and 1 girl, dancing their way towards you, all trying to keep a smile as they get uncomfortably close.
I'm trying to eat here.
And you see them like they're just staying close, trying to dance and trying to make sure you can see them. Like they'll dance and kind of like lean into your eyesight.
Do you know Peridot?
I'm gonna like hop down. Do I recognize any of these kids?
I would say you do recognize the older sibling, so it's a young boy, might be a middle child, female, and then the older boy. You recognize the older boy.
Hey, you. What's your name?
I am Tayo.
Tayo, where are you from?
I'm from the outer circle. I was from Owashu, but now I'm here.
How'd you get here?
Still dancing. Well, Dad said there was an opportunity, and then it came to Bossing Say, and then, well, we haven't seen Dad in a while. And you see the girl kind of nudge him, and he's like the trying to look, turns to a smile again, and he's once again dancing.
So why are you dancing so much?
Well, we were always told that if we dance, we can make some money and then we can eat. And so we were told not to steal anymore because that's bad. But if we make people smile, they'll give us money. You can have it. And like you see, like the young one like looks over at the older ones, like looking at the food, looking at them, and their dancing is slowing down. They're like,
you can just eat it. It's great.
I'm gonna walk over to the buffet and I'm just gonna grab a big bowl of just like rice with some of that sauce all over it, and I'm just gonna hand it to him. And I'm gonna say, "Go crazy, little ones."
And you can see like the girl starts to like tear up a little bit. Dad used to love this one, and she like starts trying to scarf the food, and you can see like a little bit of like teary-eyed as she's trying to eat the food.
Slow down, you'll throw up.
And she starts to a little bit, and well, we still have to keep dancing though, because we need to make sure we can have enough money to take care of ourselves.
Who's telling you to dance?
Well, That's what we have to do. The Emerald Enclave says as long as we work hard, we can be taken care of. We make money however we can. And we like to dance. And you can see them like trying to synchronize their moves again. And you see like around the area, you see other like kids kind of going around. You do see at least one kid's like trying to like, you see one reaching into somebody's pocket and someone notices and they like scramble back into the crowd from like that distance. But like we like to dance and people tip us usually. So we thought rich people like to give money, though it's not been helpful. Apparently rich people also like keeping money.
I think they got rich.
So sorry, are some of these kids stealing, or are there other
kids? You see several other kids kind of nearby also trying to like, some grabbing some food, some trying to pick pockets, other people picking up scraps. You see kids all over the place just because you can see this event's very poorly organized. And they start to dance away. We're gonna go try to make some more money because, well, we like to dance and hopefully they'll help out. But as you see them walking away, Kallik, you notice someone wearing very dark blue clothes. And the design of the clothes reminds you of home, specifically your tribe. Blend into the crowd for a moment and disappear.
I gotta go. And Kallik is gonna like leap over the table and just start running after this person. You stop!
And several people are like, look and like, what? Uuwi, what are you doing?
I'm gonna
sigh. I'm gonna get on my ball. I'm gonna wave to the kids. I'm just gonna start slowly trotting over.
I would like to pop open my gourd and water bend out like this long stream of ice that I'm then going to just move to the side to part the crowd if I can.
And as you're moving through the crowd, you suddenly hear a roaring flame in the near distance, heading the same direction that you saw this cloaked figure in dark blue move. Meanwhile, we have Tazu, Tozi, Joey, and Ase. You turn one of the corners, and what you see is Fire Captain Boku trying to put out fire. It seems like the back of a building that was mostly stone, but some of it had maybe some other material that was slightly flammable. The building is partially on fire in the back, and you see him kind of trying to use his firebending to put it out for a moment. And you also notice that the fire uniquely isn't red. It's a very faint blue color.
Oh gosh.
And you just see him trying, like you would see he's not doing very well as the fire is seemingly fighting back.
I guess I'll at the very least like look at Tazu, and then I'll just start running over and ask Boku, is there anyone left inside?
And he looks over and you notice like this look of fear in his eyes. Away now, you must not be here. As you see him trying to get the fire reduced.
Running up behind him. What happened?
Damn it. And you immediately see him try to like do a flame column to try to surround you both. But before that can happen, you suddenly see what appears to be an icicle stab through his ribs. And as this happens, Kallik, you kind of turn the corner to see the ice. You don't see where it's coming from. You just see the ice flying and you see it pierce the ribs of an unrecognized figure. But as you try to look where it came from, you don't see anything that direction. And Boku hits the ground and you see the wound immediately starting to blood leaking and then freezing.
Captain! And looking over, is there any evidence of anyone from that direction at all?
From your angle, you do see a black cloak running behind one of the alleyways.
They're going that way. Captain, what happened? How can I help?
And you see immediately he tries to get up, and you see his fire burst out without his control. And you'll notice his fire, which is normally red like most, is getting dimmer. It's his most red is now a bit yellow, and he tries it again to launch fire, and it turns white, and it doesn't reach as far, and you can see the ice spreading across his wound further and further. It does appear to somehow stop close to under his ribs a bit, just below his chest, but most of his left side of his ribs is frozen over. Damn it. And he just kind of, you see in that moment too, he takes as he breathes, you notice you see his breath as if it's cold compared to the temperature.
What's happening?
And you see him trying to speak and nothing. And he just kind of leans against the wall, and you can see him just doing labored breathing.
So what way did the guy in the black cloak go?
From your direction, from the left is where Tazu would have noticed the individual heading basically that way, opposite of where you guys kind of came from.
Joey for sure would have dipped, like started chasing that guy. General specialty, using her air bending to increase her strides. As a small person, this is necessary.
Same thing with Saeed. They do this almost on the daily in terms of their delivery service. So as they start running off, she kind of takes up the sides of her long robes, and like she lacks having a glider, so she tries to use her bending to kind of pick up some of the current in her robes to push her forward faster.
So both airbenders are giving chase. Tozi, Tazu.
Is the building still burning?
It's not. The fire has started to subside, and it seems to finally die down. It just seems like a very slow burn. The building is no longer on fire, but there's this massive ash mark on the back of the wall. But you notice the ash itself isn't just black like it normally would be of burning. It leaves a bit of like frost around the edge of the flame. So are you staying behind or chasing as well?
Well, it depends. I would wait to see what Tazu wants to do, because he's now, I guess, the one in charge.
So standing next to the captain, who's now leaned up against the wall, looking at his wound. I've never seen anything like this. What is this? Is this is it water?
Yeah. Damn. Water bender. And you see that cold breath leaving his lips.
Are you cold? What's going on?
And you can see him wanting to speak, but he's like, every time he's about to, he kind of bites his lips almost.
I'll place a hand on his chest and or around where the ice is, but not directly on it, and feel.
And as you do, the closer you get, it's cold. And not just like ice cold. It's colder than what you would typically expect of ice in most cases.
You're freezing from the inside. What kind of bending is this?
And once again, you see him biting his lips. Just give me a minute. I will warm up, and then we will leave.
I want to start chasing. Sorry.
What was that, Tazu?
Can I help? Warm you up?
No, it wasn't deep enough to fully flash. So I will be fine.
I gotta find who did that. Are you gonna be okay?
I will be fine. And you can see he seems fine. Like he seems hurt, but just slightly wounded, but you could definitely tell the sound in his voice is more of a prideful pain than anything else.
Okay. I'm gonna go find them. And I'll start running.
Same. I'm just pissed.
And as well as Kallik, anyway, you kind of see this interaction of the ice hitting, the conversation, the airbenders then deciding to go off. What is your reaction to that moment?
Is it the same person who did that like the person who shot the ice, is it the same person that I'm chasing after?
from based on, I don't think anyone mentioned specifically the black cloak, but you can assume that the cloak you saw was a waterbender, and this is a very signature trick of your water tribe's special forces.
Well, okay, I'm gonna follow after these airbenders then.
And Uuwi, you are also right next to Kallik, kind of seeing these events happen. I believe you're muted.
I'm going to start giving chase as well. How sturdy do the buildings here look?
They're made of stone, so they seem pretty sturdy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start like pounding pillars out of the earth just by like punching forward. And every time like one of these little thin pillars forms, my gemsblock is going to hop on top of them, and we're going to start like going bounding from roof to roof.
Not fair, stupid earthbenders. The earth everywhere. I have to find water.
You're all giving chase, and you are kind of all going at different paces, at different elevations and tactics to get through. For the airbenders that are closest, you notice this individual in the black cloak isn't running. They're literally jumping from what appears to be ice columns that are launching them forward. Much like the earthbending technique of earth killers to jump, they're using ice to leap. And as you notice, everywhere they go, the ice then shatters and leaves a very dense, cold mist. And specifically you, Sahi, as you kind of fly through one of them, you feel that this is not just cold, it is freezing cold. And the air actually feels heavy for a moment.
And she would kind of like shout over to Joey, Joey, watch out for those areas. It's really cold. Something's different about this.
Yep. Have I hit any of the clouds of mist yet?
You have not. Saeed was probably kind of like leading a bit, moving through, and ended up being the closest and kind of got stuck in that ice pack just before you were about to.
Okay, I think Joey's gonna look for a slope of any kind in one of these alleys and basically run up the slope, jump, hit the wall.
Oh, you muted yourself.
I think you muted yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So basically like jump up against the wall and then use the momentum to hit the wall with some air to launch her over the...
All right, a little bit of a like self-catapulting.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're kind of going through and the rest of you are following behind, you can kind of see the airbenders moving around, especially he's on the roofs kind of doing that. You see this happening. And as you kind of get close, you see this black cloaked figure kind of stop because it runs into the edge of the wall of the area and turns just as you kind of get close, Joey. And you notice that all around, as you get closer, it's cold. And every moment you get any closer, it gets colder. Just as you will start to catch up. And much in the same way, as you get closer, the air itself is cold. What is your first response? This person has stopped and like back against the wall a bit, does the whole look one way, look the other, and then just kind of puts one foot forward. And you'll notice they shift into a very loose stance.
Sai will kind of be keeping an eye on Joey and try to stand like parallel to her, try to block the path past us. Kind of stand there, not really used to confrontation in this kind of sense, but okay, what just happened? What did you do?
And you see the person, you can't see anything above. They have the mask adorned. It's very a tight fit, dark blue, almost like it's very body form. The only part you could see is from the nose up and short black matted hair, probably from moisture, as kind of glides around for a moment, just looking between the two of you. Just as Uuwi, you would start to arrive just after this moment. And after that would be Kallik. And after that, Tozi and Tazu, you would all kind of arrive seeing this individual cornered, hearing the end of this sentence. Time stands still, and so shall the world.
looking around at everybody.
Do I recognize the person?
You do recognize from that view of the nose up, it's exactly who you think it is.
Dalian! And I'm going to pull all of the water that I have in my gourd and make as large of like an ice ball that I can and just throw it as hard as I can.
Another one.
And you see him make just a quick reaction. His form shifts as he becomes sturdy, a wide base, much like an earthbender. His hand moves and presses against the ice as it shatters and becomes a dense, cold mist, so thick that you can't see through it. And it is freezing cold. And you know this technique. This is the ability to create a frost mist using moisture from other entities and then condensing it as fast as possible into very small fragments. It's a frost mist, and you know the dangers of walking into that.
Can I try to looking around? You're earthbenders. Blow it away or something. We can't go in there.
Blow it away. I think that's a good opportunity for Joey and Saeed. Grabs her hand and has Saeed swing her around and will attempt to create a tornado to gather up all of the mist and send it upwards.
All right. I will need you, because this is going to be a very dangerous moment. I will expect for this to be creativity unless you're using a specific move that says otherwise. You'll be rolling 2d6.
Okay. 9, 10, 11.
11. So as you spin this tornado forming, and 11 is a success as the air picks up the mist and it starts to concentrate it in this tornado, and the force of it pushes it up higher and higher and higher until it's kind of thinned out and you can see it disperse. But as it disperses, you don't see the man in black anymore.
Where'd he go?
And just in that moment, you see another individual just land kind of in front of you, facing the wall as well. Lands in what I call the 3-point superhero pose. Yeah, you know how it is. This individual wearing clothes that mimics the air, like an airbender from the Air Temple, but the colors are more red, reminiscent of the Fire Nation. Barefoot, stands up, dark skin, looks over. Damn, he got away.
Who?
And he's facing like the wall, and then he turns.
Who got away?
That's a damn assassin. This is not good.
No, he got away. Do you have any way to find him?
Yeah, way to show up at the last minute, Tazu, like you've been here the whole time helping.
I was busy trying to take care of other things. Okay. Peridot. Peridot can take care of this. Shit. Did anyone get hurt?
Yes,
Well-
actually. Captain Boku. He's back. Oh gosh. Which way?
He attacked Boku. Okay. It's no big deal. A Water Tribe assassin attacked a Fire Nation captain in the middle of the Earth Kingdom. It's not a problem.
No, that sounds like a problem.
Sounds
You
like
don't
a
know what
rather,
sarcasm
rather
is, do you?
I don't think I've gotten to that portion of my training yet.
Okay, okay. I need all of you. We need to go to the Enclave. Don't just come with me. Don't talk to anyone. Don't ask questions. We need to go. And you start to feel the earth shake beneath you. The Dali are coming.
Well,
Get
I suppose
close.
you're not technically a
Time to
stranger.
split.
And then as he kind of gets close, and close your eyes.
Close my eyes.
That's
And
a
without
big ask.
reaction, he goes to clap his hands. Now, who did close their eyes? All right, so Kallik, and Tazu did not. As he clapped his hands, you see a spark and basically equivalent of a flashbang goes off. You are going to be temporarily blinded. You are going to suffer a condition. You're going to mark foolish. So you're going to have -2 to any trick and resisting shift your balance rolls. As you feel, obviously you don't know this person, but you had an instinct. You feel a bit foolish for being blinded by someone who warned you about it. And then each of you feel the shifting earth beneath you for a moment. And then it's quiet. You can open your eyes now.
I have, but I still can't see anything.
I did try to warn you to close your eyes. We didn't have time to explain why. It'll wear off in a little while.
I'll just take Tazu's hand just to lead him. Please don't read into this.
I can't read anything because I can't see.
Just, we'll be moving for a little while. It's a straight tunnel, just follow through. And for those that aren't blinded, you do see Tazu has in his hand, it's just glowing, like the palm of his hand is glowing. And you see the tattoos that are along his arms that seem to be glowing as well. All of his tattoos are illuminated with small sparks that seem to be going off. And he's just kind of walking down the path, leading you to follow behind.
And there was someone else that was blinded too, right?
I believe Kallik and Uuwi are both blinded as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is my gem spot full blinded?
Oh, that is a really good question. Like a dangerously good one. Does it use normal senses?
Does it have eyeballs?
It has eyeballs.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna double. Technically, yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Technically, they will be blinded temporarily as well.
I'm on a rooftop.
Animals don't react well to being blinded.
They
Or
don't.
rooftops.
So you will be the only. I believe with the flashbang, how tame would you say is your gem spot to sudden flash and noise like that? Like, I want to determine whether or not would you have to deal with it trying to buck you, or is it used to sudden impact moments? I don't know how combative your companion is.
I would say that Hare is like trained for battle, even though we like try to avoid it typically in the wilds. But it's not the first time.
So I'm gonna need you to roll me a focus as you were dealing with the shock of this happening.
All right. That is a 6.
A 6 will fail, as your gem box used to most situations, but this loud the sound of it and the brightness blinding it's a moment of panic as it bucks and will kick you off as you will start to fall. We're going to mark the condition. We're gonna go with afraid, as you will fall off the roof. And you too will also be, upon falling off the roof, be pulled down into the ground without your gem spot. And as one of the only earthbenders, you'll feel yourself actually being pulled underground, like the earth itself is shifting to pull you underneath and then closing around you, kind of like a burrowing process until you feel yourself in the same cavern. And each of you kind of hear a thud as Uuwi finally arrives in the cavern. And those that aren't blinded, you will see Tazu turn in a complete ready combat stance. Oh, the Daili has found us.
I think it's
Oh.
Is that? And it's Uuwi. Oh, you were with them as well. And you
I'm
recognize this voice. Oh, okay. So there's 6 of you. It's fine.
Someone get my gems possible.
I will tell Peridot about that as well. We have to go. The Daily will eventually, they'll sense past the metal fragments. And Tazu will start to walk down the cavern. And I'm assuming, apparently, you're all kind of leading, half of you were leading the blind.
Yeah.
We're able to sense pretty quickly that they aren't able to see right now. I asked, of course. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry. She's kind of referencing towards Kallik. Can I hold your arm and guide you?
What? Me?
Yes, you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay, perfect. And she'll kind of take his arm or their arm, sorry, and start walking forward.
What's your name?
And is anyone getting Uuwi? Because so I know everyone's getting him. Uuwi's the one that just landed in the back behind you all.
Yeah, Joey's gonna. If Uuwi is still laying on the ground, Joey's gonna create a little whirlwind to pop her up, or pop them up, and then grab him by the arm and like drag him.
Like turn this way.
Whoa! Just trying to get you moving. We gotta catch up with this guy. He ain't gonna slow down. So.
Okay, where we need to go. Bye.
And you start to move through this path for a while, and after a while you'll start to notice that as the white light's coming from Tazu, and eventually you start to see green kind of coming down the end of this tunnel as you see the light being reflected from Tazu to some gemstones. And as you keep moving forward, at least 2 of you recognize this place a little bit as the underground Emerald Enclave. It is an underground establishment, both figuratively and literally, that uses gemstones to mark where locations are within the underground part of the city, but not so far that you're in the true catacombs. It's almost like in-between zone under Ba Sing Se. And as you kind of enter this emerald area, you do see a few people kind of musing around. So we are entering the Emerald Enclave, and you can hear a soft, sweet sound different than the festival noise of bustle party. And as you kind of enter, you see a collective of individuals all kind of moving around, carrying gemstones. Some of them, you see people feeding other people, some dealing with some kind of medicine, doing some ace bandages on other people, and a lot of communication and whispers going around. And as Tazu kind of enters, you see him dimming the lights on his body and just letting the natural light that's illuminating through the emeralds light your way. All right. We're gonna find Peridot. Since you all happen to have seen the individual, we're gonna have to work with that. And he kind of guides you a little further down until you see this massive, like, double door entrance made of stone. And he kind of comes up to it and taps on it twice. And you see sparks coming from the taps, almost as if his body's like a flintstone sparking. Yes. Hold. And the doors start to shift, grinding across the ground. And Tazu just steps to the side. Peridot will see you now.
I'll see what's going on.
See Peridot.
Everything is fine. That's all you need to know. Everything is just fine.
It doesn't seem like it's fine though.
Oh, it's fine. I got it. We're fine. You're good.
We're good?
Listen, if you've ever needed to trust me, I know I don't give off that vibe, but I got you, okay?
Oh, I trust you.
And you'll start to, for those that have been blinded, your vision doesn't fully return, but now it's not just piercing like white light. It's just kind of blurry now as you're kind of getting your vision back. So you can only partially see, but the rest of you can see as this individual is sitting at a stone desk, long hair, and you can see a green, like a deep green scarf. This long hair is over that as they're sitting with their back to the desk, and they turn to look at you, and you notice the first thing is their skin is colored in a way that's like a greenish hue almost. And at first you think maybe it's the reflection of the green light of the emerald gems, but upon further investigation, you can determine their skin has actually become colored green. And she smiles at you. You can see like the scar on her lip and on the entire like left side of her face, scars. I see you have all been brought in by Tazu, yes. I'm assuming you are the individuals that encountered the ice problem.
You could say encountered.
Mhm.
It encountered one of us. Well, he's not here anyway.
Well, the problem is because you all know, we need to know that you'll either help us or you won't say anything.
Looking
We're
in entirely
children.
the wrong direction, Kallik is gonna like point and be like, "Listen, if this means that I get to have Talion, then
This
yeah,
is-
I'll help you find him."
This way. Trying to pull them a little bit more.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna get on my knees and just like kind of like forlornly bow my head. As my gem spot ball.
The reason this is a problem is because that individual works with a group of people that we've been trying to figure out, and the fact that now he's seen you, we're also equally concerned that you'll also be targets. And then you see her kind of glance over at you, Tozi, and Tazu with almost a wince. This is a... And you could see like the distress appearing on her face as she's kind of like going through like her desk, moving papers around, and this is a problem. You two are from the nobility of the Fire Nation, aren't you?
Yes, junior envoy to the Fire Army.
Nobility's a stretch. Influential, yes. Noble, not so much.
Well, and nothing more noble than serving in the Fire Army.
Of course. Damn it, Tazu. Okay. This is... Would you mind stepping out for a moment?
All of us.
And kind of like looks at Tozi and then Tazu.
Why?
Because the problem we're facing is inherently because of you.
Well, that seems like a bit of a stretch. They were there and trying to stop everything.
Like us personally, or is this just being a generally like prejudice thing towards Fire Nation?
It's the fact that people are being dragged from their homes to work for the Fire Nation.
And so that in itself is an entirely different conversation, but you think that that somehow has something to do with, again, to children.
I've seen enough Fire Nation individuals dragging men of any age and pulled away, presumably, to work in these desolate camps. The problem is, we can't get enough proof to show where they're going, just enough that the envoys have been guided by the Fire Nation. And you being here is compromising.
I don't think I know what they're talking about.
And then you
Children
see
that
her
are
kind
not
of,
missing.
she kind of backs up, and you see her motion turn, and you can hear the sound of something grinding like gears, and you see her turn and go around the stone, and you see her rolling in a wheelchair with a fabric over her lap. And we have tried to deal with this for long, way too long. And the fact that you're here makes me wonder if you're part of it.
I'll have you know that my family, which includes me here in front of you now, are descended from Warlord Toz and his stolen children. So, if this is something that's going on and the Fire Nation has a hand in it, it is certainly not something my family or I condone, support, facilitate in any way. So maybe you should think about using, I don't know how Tazu feels. He has more obligation to the military, more ties. Maybe think of using us as a resource instead of shutting us out entirely.
And you see her sitting there kind of contemplating. Fine. Our only hope is problematically dealing with your chaperone, if you will.
You mean the captain?
Yes, your captain. It's become our knowledge that your captain has come, yes, to be a chaperone, but to complete the deal to bring more of their workers away from Ba Sing Se. We were tailing him, hoping to catch him, and the assassin decided to get into the way.
If possible, Game Master, I would like to use one of my moves, Suspicious Mind.
All right.
So, this move is when I watch a person carefully to figure them out. I get to roll with focus. Depending on the roll, getting asked a question of them. While I observe and interact with them, they must answer honestly, depending on the roll.
Got it. All right. Go ahead and give me the roll.
Okay.
And that's part of the which playbook?
Guardian.
Guardian.
See here, and it's a focus.
Suspicious Mind. All right.
So it's 2d6, and I have a +2 to it?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Okay, so the first one's a 4, second one is a 2, so it's going to be 8.
8.
And so, yeah.
All right. So so that is a success to get at least one question. So which of those are you hoping to ask?
Are you telling the truth?
It's more complicated, the truth itself. What we do know is that Boku was involved. So our goal was to send a letter to lure him to a different location. That way we can get to him and interrogate him ourselves. Away from the prying eyes of the Dali.
A letter.
A letter.
Don't look so sad about it. We were just doing a job.
I know, but this is just getting more complicated. Every single time I feel like something happens in this city, it gets more and more dangerous.
Yeah, well, that's everywhere. At least the walls keep other people out mostly.
The wall
And you
is
also
two
notice-
sides.
With talking to her more and more, and even though she has this older look to her, the more you look, the more you notice she's not as old as she actually looks. She's maybe 19 at best, but definitely scars that show otherwise. I'm tired of seeing people being pulled from the streets, going missing. Parents being pulled away from their children, leaving orphans everywhere. And there's only so much we can do. The Earth King is nothing but a puppet. All the political parties care about is more money. The Dali is controlled by whoever has that money. And the Dali, I know, are dealing with people like Boku, who, whether or not it's for the Fire Nation or for own personal gain, we just wanted to stop. This was our first lead in nearly a decade.
Well, I mean, you guys didn't even try to go get Boku back there. Sure, you know, the Dai Li were after us, but that doesn't mean they got to him. We were making a whole bunch of noise.
We tried to find him. Taizo went to go deal with the assassin. We sent others to where the fire started, and we couldn't find Boku.
So many questions. Who is this Dali?
And like she looks at you like, the Dali, they're the special military, the private military, if you will, for the Earth Kingdom. They're meant to keep order, or at least the order of the highest bidder.
Oh, mercenaries?
Just private government military.
And then this fire. We heard the fire and we went running and found the captain trying to put it out, and then he got struck with whatever that ice was.
Yes, the assassin chose to try and fight Boku, which is a problem, as we were trying to find him and get him ourselves. They were supposed to have a meet later, during the festival. We don't know if he's going to still have this meeting. But we're spread thin, with this assassin being problematic, and the Dali is now tightening on all members of they're getting closer to finding the Enclave. If we tip our hand too much, it may be over for all of us down here. They know most of who we are.
Okay, so I guess, what do you want us to do? Like Tozi said, we're children. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. Just don't put myself or my sister in harm's way. And those two, and just pointing specifically at Tazu and Tozi, they were right on trying to help right away. So if it comes down to them not being involved, and I don't want to be involved in this either.
If you'll just let it be, speak nothing of what you saw, and we'll let it be as well.
Am I present for this?
Yeah, and for those that have been blinded and your vision was blurry, is now clear.
I'm going to look up at Peridot, and I'm just going to bow again. I'm going to say, Peridot, Shiicish. If the well-being of those that have been stolen is at stake here, I must fight to see them returned.
I am glad to have your help. There have been many that have gone missing in the last few days, and I fear at the end of the festival they will be taken as well. And who knows how many more. And then you hear crying as someone barrels in. A young girl dressed in ornate Earth Kingdom performance wear, one that you recognize, comes crying, runs up to Peridot, and falls into her lap. They took my brothers! And she just buckles into the lap of Peridot, who tries to console. Nali, breathe. Tano, they took Tano, and you could see just the tears, unable to speak all the way through as Peridot simply holds on. No, it's okay. We will get your brothers before they're gone. I promise.
Who took your brothers?
This is the girl from the marketplace.
And you can see she's like, Peridot brings Nali closer and looks up at you. This is what we mean. Everywhere. Anyone who's able to work is being pulled, regardless of their age. You are right. This is not my place to ask you to help. I will not do so. She looks over at the five of you, not who was offered. You are welcome to leave. Tazu will lead you away. You are free to go about the rest of your lives.
Hey, like I said, if it gets me Talion, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And if it means, saving this little girl and her brothers, then great.
I appreciate the offer. The rest of you, I said, are welcome to leave. If we are going to do this, it has to be done tonight. I fear with the assassin doing what he has done. If Boku is to act, he will act tonight.
Look, what I will say is, you have your daily, special forces. Well, Talion's one of ours. And he doesn't leave loose ends. So, if just by being there, you're kind of involved. Probably gonna come after you.
Say you're just children. So is she. She doesn't have a choice here.
Tozi, I know that she came off as being kind of rude, brash, and insulting. I think that we should try to help because this doesn't sound right. Despite being kind of mean.
All right, Sai, listen. I was all about not giving him my money, but I feel like I put off a really bad image if I said that we should not help these children.
No, you're right. We should.
Especially because technically we work for the Emerald Enclave, so I feel like it's kind of in our contract.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Just be careful, okay?
Yeah, don't worry about it. She'll turn back to Peridot and say, "Yeah, we're in."
And she like kind of cradling Nali in her arms. Thank you. And she looks over at both firebenders. If you wish to leave, I will not hold you to it. All I ask is that you tell no one of where or who we are.
No, I'm helping with this because I mean, this is shocking, obviously, but also this person attacked one of the higher ups of the Fire Army. I mean, I'm bound by this obligation, but at the same time, I also don't want to see this, gesturing to Nali, happen. And walking up to Nali, we'll find them. I lost both of my parents before I could even remember who they were. So, yeah, we'll find your brothers.
Where is this meeting supposed to be?
The catacombs. Beneath even where we are.
How do we get there?
If you're all choosing to go, then I will show you the way. As she kind of brings her arms up to her sides, elevated for a moment. And that is where we're going to take our mid-show break. For everyone watching, please enter the word balance for all things in the ebb and flow. Things are dark of the light, the day of the night. We find the yin and the yang, and you can find a reward by typing in balance. We're going to take about, I believe we're going to do about 5 to 10 minute break. And we'll come back from that to see who won the mid-show giveaway for the, I believe, let me double check what it even actually is.
A new car. Oh, wait.
If you call Dice Car, absolutely. It is going to be the Mithril Armory giveaway. We're gonna be giving away a set of Mithril Armory 1020s. All you have to do is enter the word balance into the chat once for a chance to win the dice. To my understanding, there's going to be a video thing. These 1020s are amazing. I actually have one that I have made, and I also have another one that I have that I'm going to fold. They're amazing 1020s, like it's a puzzle dice you put together. It's super lightweight, super fun, super shiny, and I plan to color mine because I'm extra, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing item to have, and you get it for free by entering balance to enter in the giveaway. So we'll be getting that all sorted away when we get back from the break. So for now, maintain your balance, and we'll be back. Welcome back to the stream on the Initiative Order as we dive into the one-shot exploring the quick start guide to Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, which is live on Kickstarter. Special shout out to them and Magpie for being an amazing people to bring such an amazing setting, story, and everything to a table near you as we dive into the Untold Legends. We're going to go around the table and reintroduce each of the players to give you a reminder of who these wonderful people are and who they are playing ever so wonderfully. And don't forget, we are going to be doing the giveaway is still active, so please take the time to put in balance, which is the keyword to win the 1020s from Mithril Armory, because here in Avatar, everything we do is to maintain the balance. So let's reintroduce, starting off with Uuwi.
Hi everyone, I am Uuwi. I am an earthbender from the playbook Icon. Grew up in the wilderness and I'm here to protect anyone who needs it.
Excellent. And Kallik.
Hello everyone, my name is Beau and I'm playing Kallik. I am a waterbending outlaw pirate, and the playbook I'm playing in is the Hammer.
Amazing. And Tozi.
I am Rachel. I'm playing Tozi, the firebender successor from privileged background.
Epic. And, that's just Fire Nation 101. Isn't that right, Tazu?
That's right. So I'm Casey, otherwise known as Tazu here. I am a privileged firebending idealist.
Excellent. And Joey.
Hi everybody, I'm Christine and I am playing the bold airbender Joey.
And Sai.
Hello everyone, my name is Brianna and I am playing Sai, the airbender with the Guardian playbook.
Amazing. And I'm Jay, playing the wish they were an Avatar but didn't quite make the cut, using the Playbook of Dreams, otherwise known as the entire book storytelling. So I think we're going to go ahead and roll the giveaway winner. This is your last chance to put in balance into the chat before we go ahead and roll the giveaway winner. In 3, 2, roll that winner. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, I'm so nervous. And it looks like the winner is, congratulations to Red Panda Cola. You have won the giveaway. Please take the time to head over into the Initiative Order Discord server. You'll be sending a message over to Danny, the founder of TIO, on the Discord, and let him know you won so you can get everything sorted out to get your 1020s. And now we're going to dive back into the Untold Legends. We're going to do a quick minor recap. We are in the city of Ba Sing Se during the Festival of the Stone Crown, a completely made-up festival designated to celebrate the birthday of the Prince of the Earth Kingdom of Ba Sing Se, who has chosen to invite his dearly beloved best friends, at least that's what he likes to call them, Tozi and Tazu. In that time, Kallik has been searching adamantly for this individual Talion, and has brought their journey down to Ba Sing Se. And in that same breath, Uuwi has come to Ba Sing Se in search of salvation for others who have been losing family one by one. And those are foreign to Ba Sing Se, the natives of Ba Sing Se, Joey and Sai, the airbenders who are part of the premium delivery service. When you want to get your mail there faster than sliding on stone, you go the only place you know to home. The skies above will get you where you need to be. Ba-ding! That's a commercial. That's for free. And the festival started off well-intended. Fireworks, music, food. It was glorious. Until it seems a fight started behind one of the buildings in the center circle during the peak of the festival. There, the fire captain Boku, who was the quote-unquote chaperone for the two Fire Nation dignitaries, was in a fight and attacked. And ice pierced his body and froze him temporarily, reducing and ultimately eliminating his ability to bend fire due to the extreme cold. So our 6 members, who all circumstantially met together through no form of anything other than coincidence and not plot-contrived moments, chased behind this black hooded figure through the streets to find out this individual was truly a powerful waterbender. And in a moment of desperation, the airbenders got rid of the cold mist that would have froze most to the bone, and the Dali from the Earth Kingdom were close in their tails to follow the noise. The circumstances were not kind. Things were tense and a lot of questions to be asked as Tazu appears, a member of the Emerald Enclave, an underground organization trying to fight to preserve the rights of the citizens of Ba Sing Se, though them not being quite powerful themselves, nothing more than children in their own rights. Tazu takes the group and brings them into the Emerald Enclave underground, where they meet with Peridot, who is considered the leader of the Emerald Enclave. And much like Peridot and most members, all basically children choosing to fight for themselves as the adults fetter around in silly politics. They were explained that Talion is searching for Boku, assassin in his own rights, and it was explained by Kallik that Talion will eliminate anyone that gets in his way. And this group is included, as Boku is believed to be part of this kidnapping of workers to work for the Fire Nation, or presumed. But Tozi and Tazu believe it's at least in their right to aid in protecting of these children, even if it means against Boku, as Uuwi has already been inclined to save as many people as that they can. And the Airbender Delivery Service decide it's time to deliver justice, not just mail. As Peridot explains where this meeting will be, her hands were shifted into the air, and you each see as their skin starts to glow, almost like specks of light emanating, sparkling like gemstones, and you see little fragments of gems leaving their skin, and it starts to float in the air, creating a prism of light. This light starts to move around, and the glitter, as you look closer, is very small fragments of gemstones, as she starts to bend them in the air, creating a soft map, if you will, almost like a 3D map of the underground area of Ba Sing Se. And you see it glowing at this one point. This is approximately where we are. And she moves her hands as the earth in the air moves, shining light in different areas. And you see another section of this underground map of Ba Sing Se glowing. And this is the location that we attempted to direct Boku towards. And if he's choosing to retreat, this is where he will be. And then she starts to move it around in the air and show other caverns. However, we don't know where they would be hiding the captives. It could be in any number of these caverns, but all we know for sure is this is the location that Boku would be sent to. This is the best that we can determine. And the crystals in the air starts to come down and go back onto her skin, creating a thin layer that you can see almost like crystal skin before it kind of dissolves itself into her skin. That is the best I can provide you.
Right. Let's go.
Okay.
Tazu will lead you as far as he can. He's not... We're going to need him to deal with the surface. The Dali will be a very big problem. He can handle them, but he can't be in two places at once, so... And she just kind of, while holding Nali, just kind of holds her close. And you see a softer look in her gaze than she normally has had. That stern look she was trying to give, you can tell, was a facade to seem tougher than she really is. You see in her the truth in that moment. She's nothing more than a scared teen fighting with the rest of them to be free. And as you kind of make your way out of her office area, it really dawns on you that you hadn't noticed due to the pressure of the moment, but this underground Emerald Enclave is full of nothing but kids roughly your age, maybe some of them slightly younger, matching Nellie's age, and some that are maybe slightly older. It never dawned on Joey and Saeed to really recognize, because some of the people you deliver for have ranged in age, like the old man. And it really dawns on you now that the Emerald Enclave is nothing more than the children deciding that it's time for them to fight for their own rights. And Tazu bows in a way that's gives like the Earth Temple style of bowing, and then halfway through turns into like the Fire Nation's way to rise up, and then motions for you to follow as he makes his way down one of the caverns. You are slowly making your way as you kind of feel the downward slope in the steps, as it's kind of like slanting downward as we were preparing to enter unfamiliar territory, the underground of Ba Sing Se. Tazo leads you. Oh, go ahead.
As we're walking forward, I'd like to just kind of like speed up just a little bit to walk next to Tazo and be like, "Hey, so Tazo, right?
Yes.
I thought I recognized you. Those tattoos are pretty particular. You're like a really famous pirate."
I was once upon a time.
Yeah, but like you're like so famous. Like there was that time where there was like 2 Water Nation ships that were chasing after you, and you did that thing that you do. Can you like teach me something cool?
That was once when I chose to bend my fire for damage, destruction. My time at the Eastern Air Temple taught me that fire doesn't need to burn. Fire can heal. I have surrendered the destructive nature of my fire.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. Totally. So you're not pirate anymore then?
I have no longer since been that version of Taizo. I have left behind everything. That was the way of the Air Temple, to give up all ties.
So you've been to the Air Temple, you've been to the Earth Kingdom. You're just traveling everywhere. What are you, some kind of avatar?
Maybe in another life. I am simply one that has learned. Though I have learned in the same ways that Kiyoshi has, and I do believe my life will continue further beyond. And he just continues walking. And as it kind of leaves the Emerald Enclave, you see it gets darker, and once again, kind of grinds his hand against the wall, and you hear the spark as all the tattoos along his body kind of ignite like gunpowder with a flame at one end, and his entire body starts to give a soft, dim light as he continues walking down this cavern.
And he was talking about Air Temple stuff. Could we hear that in the back?
Yeah, Taizo wasn't like whispering.
Oh yeah, Joey would roll her eyes.
It wasn't just me laughing. She actually laughed a little bit.
I was also rolling my eyes.
That's fair. Everyone had a reaction to Taizo being unnaturally traveled.
No, that was a reaction to him talking about how great the Air Temple was.
That's fair.
Trying to get Joey and Sai. He's been to your temple?
Yeah, we've met him there a few times. Before we came here, of course.
You've met?
Yeah, in passing. I mean, it was mainly some of the other sisters who were there.
Did you deliver parcels?
Parcels? Well, we do that now, yeah. And I mean, Joey started doing that when we were still out at the Eastern Air Temple, but they're a little regimented, if you will. Very much.
That sounds great.
Somehow it doesn't surprise me that you definitely strike me like a regimented person. I feel like the monks there would like that.
Oh well, I don't know if I'll ever travel that way, but it's good to know that they're friendly people, obviously.
Yeah, I think they're friendly for the most part. They're just Joey and I are a bit more. We like to go around more than they do, so.
Free-spirited is what they said.
Yeah. There were some other words too, a little less positive at times, but we kind of deserved that.
Is this free-spirited a mantra of the Air Temple, or is it
well, like it was being said to let go of all your earthly ties. We're very much tied, I guess. A little bit different for us.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, yeah, you seem very out of your element. I don't mean that in an offensive way, but
I am
you've been
completely just beyond confused at most things here. So yes, I am.
As you continue walking, and now that there's it's a bit of a calm, if you will, for you, Tazu and Tozi, You start to realize the more you think about Taizo, the way that he bends, the way that his fire works, and particularly some of the tattoos on his body, you do have a recognition that this might be one of the fire general's children that got lost at sea. Was believed to have been died, but a lot of them seems very similar to one of the fire general's children. Couldn't put a name to it, but you remember hearing about this specific style of not just fire bending, but using flashed bangs and igniting fire on your body. It's very specific technique. And this continues on a wall until finally you reach what appears to be an end of a cavern. And then you see a little rock platform that you could see it kind of carved out circular wise. Well, you get on this, that'll take you down, and you just kind of follow the emerald gems, and it'll lead you as far as you need to go. And from there, best of luck.
Is this as far as you go?
This is as far as I go. I need to get back up top and deal with the Dali before they investigate too far. My hope is I can also keep them from investigating the catacombs while you're down there. Creating a bit of a ruckus is a specialty of mine.
Oh, just don't tell anyone to close their eyes and it'll be fine.
That's kind of the idea.
Are we just expecting Boku down there?
And you could see him kind of do a scornful look. If Boku should be down there, if he's gonna follow his instructions as we anticipate, that's where everything's expected to go down.
So the other side of whoever he's dealing with should be there as well.
That's the hope. So whoever his contact is will be there. If nothing else, you don't have to stop. We just need to confirm who he's working with. If you can at least get us that, that's enough for us to work with.
So we don't have to keep him alive.
And you
I think
see,
I prefer it.
and Taizo kind of flinches. Whatever actions you perform is up to you. We just ask that you get us the information we need, be it the elimination of our problem or proof of what we need.
Well, that's cool. They just gave us permission to use lethal force.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
See, like, she knows what's up.
Joey.
And I'm gonna look over at Joey and I'm just gonna give you a nudge, and then I'm gonna hold my hand up.
Yes.
Sai definitely has just this look on her face. She's like, I was just lecturing her about going to force, and now this is what we're facing.
And standing next to Sai, just completely concerned, no. Why would we kill anyone? We're gonna gather information, right?
Yeah, I'm here to fight. Not trying to kill anyone, but if I can, crack some skulls,
I just
close my skulls.
I just start walking forward and I slip a little bit and I just put a pillar up from the ground to the ceiling. It's sometimes you trip.
And Taizo departs as this rock platform, upon all of you entering it, starts to bring you down. For you can feel it's not just naturally shifting. You can feel that someone has kind of thrown it down, almost like they released the grip they had on it more than anything. You can feel the sensation of someone bending it more than natural earth, just letting it drop until it reaches almost down to the bottom, and then it just kind of stops to a point. And in here, you do see several gems kind of embedded in the wall along the way. You see some rubies, some sapphires, very small gemstones, and you see also the emeralds. As you kind of follow the emerald path, you do see some turns come up, but some turns have more rubies, some have sapphires, some have regular diamonds, and you continue following the emeralds As you continue down, eventually you stop seeing emeralds and you start seeing a specific type of crystal, one that's been known to be part of the catacombs under Ba Sing Se. These aren't gemstones that are known for what Period can do, but just truly the natural ancient realm of Ba Sing Se. For those that are from Ba Sing Se, know that Ba Sing Se once existed as an underground city before it became the massive city above ground. This is the catacombs where they once called home, and you are now in the quote-unquote ancient city of Ba Sing Se.
When I would see some of these very shiny, precious stones, my more greedy instinct would probably take over. Could I maybe try to use, like, just like water bend some kind of like a hard, thin material to kind of try to wedge in, break a piece off?
You are welcome to try. You can go ahead and give me a focus as you try to carve and cut and chip some of this crystal away.
That's not my best stat. That is a 6.
A 6 is not enough. As you try and it just kind of hits, and you can see as it tries to pierce through, not even a scratch hit these crystals. These are dense.
Back for this.
And you kind of keep making your way through, and you hear a familiar sound. A raging flame for a moment. Coming down probably the left cavern, you can hear it kind of echo down the hall for a moment. Once again, happening. Another rush of fire.
Follow it.
Tozi, is that the same one?
Who's leading the pack?
I will.
I'd probably be running.
You probably would be, yeah.
All right, so we got Kallik in the front and Tazu's kind of behind that. All right, so you're following down this pathway. And this time you hear not just one stream of flames, you hear it going in a consistent flow of fire. And Kallik, as you kind of go through, you hit this last corner and you see at the end of it, this bright light almost coming down the edge, but it's kind of like a dancing light, almost as if from the edge of fire. Do you continue running? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I will try to stop you.
I'm also gonna try to stop you because I'm all about stealth.
I'm not.
So as they both try to stop you, I'm gonna ask Kallik, are you going to accept the fact that they are stopping you? Is that enough to stop you? Or are you going to aggressively continue on your march forward?
Probably not enough.
I'm going to immediately trap your feet where they are on the ground.
Oh, come on.
So go ahead and give me let's do a passion as you are attempting to bind and slow Kallik down before they continue down this pathway.
That is an 11.
Oh,
11.
I'm not rolling. Okay.
All right. So Kallik, you do feel the earth starting to move beneath your feet. You feel it attempting to reach up. You feel it almost as if it's trying to reach for you to sustain and hold you. Do you have a response as you feel the earth attempting to grab you?
Not really. I'm gonna be tugging, but not really.
All right. So it is successfully kind of grabs you and then holds you for a moment. And you're all a good distance away from this edge of this tunnel, which you could tell is an opening at the end, just in the way that the cave kind of, instead of being another catacomb, kind of widens out, where you can see this consistent light, then the fire stops for a while, and then you see the light happen again.
You let me go.
I think it would be best if we approached with a touch more caution.
Yeah, but if we're too slow, then we might miss something.
You need to go faster, but quieter?
Yeah.
Ideally, that would work amazing, but how?
I might have a trick because as she's been walking, she normally just uses like her airbending to try to propel herself a little faster. Kallik, do you trust me? I know that's a really weird question considering we just met.
No, but go on.
Okay, so that's fair. I would like to try to use a basic move to to help Kallik and try to utilize some of my airbending to make them lighter on their feet.
Okay.
Give them
Go ahead and
bonus of plus 1.
I believe at a basic act, that's going to be like a stealth type thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to use creativity. I will also accept harmony.
Okay. With the helping action, just to clarify, it does say when I take an appropriate action to help a companion, I would just mark a fatigue on my end to give them a plus 1. Yep. Am I using that properly?
Yeah, you'll be marking a fatigue to use this.
Perfect. I'll do that. And then still roll creativity?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me creativity.
So I'll make sure I'm keeping that.
Because you're rolling a fatigue to help. We're going to see if you give additional help.
Awesome. Let's see here. Ooh, she is not very creative. Oh, okay, so that's... Oh, but a minus... I think -1, so 8.
8 is enough to help successfully as Kallik is released from the earth. You feel yourself as you kind of are released from the earth. You kind of make a step to the side, and it feels weird because you're used to stepping on the hard earth, but it almost feels like there's padding between your foot and the ground itself. So Kallik, you have a bonus to your stealth to make less noise when running randomly into rooms. Is Kallik going back on the full sprint in?
Can I go now? Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Kallik is running. Is everyone else just walking or keeping pace?
Going to, as light-footed as possible, also run after.
Got it. So Kallik, you'll be the first one to enter this room, or at least get to the edge of the room. And when you go in there, what you see is specifically this fire kind of cycling around an individual adorned in a unique red cloak and with metal gloves, and you can see this metal mask on their face. And in the back corner, you see leaning against a wall, a very familiar old friend, adorned in the dark blue clothing. With more, the hair though, instead of being the black mat, it has a bit of a frosted tip to it.
Is there any water in the room?
Not that you can see. You can tell with the amount of heat being generated that it's a little bit dry, almost arid in this tunnel. And then you start to hear, well, I suppose that should be good enough. If there's anything else we need, we can get them moving. We can get it done tonight while everything is happening. And then the fire tornado kind of stops around the individual. Fine. If we can get everything done tonight, is everything moved? And then you see Talion kind of get off the wall. Yes. All's been taken care of. Everything is as it should be. Dali are preoccupied. I'm sure those cavalcade of children are off doing whatever they consider their playtime. And while everyone's focused on the festival, we can move clearly out of town. But I do expect my pay in full.
When Talion says we can make it out of town, Kallik is gonna step around the corner and be like, "Hey, coward! You're not going anywhere."
I'm not paid to deal with this one. And you see Talion start going down one of the other tunnels.
Where are you going? Come fight me!
And the individual in this metal armor turns, and you hear like the voice is like changed, altered under this helmet. Then I suppose I'll deal with you. And he pulls out what appears to be a deck of cards, fans them out, and you see each of them metal. and he flicks one, and you see as it does, it turns into like a flashing red as it's been superheated and lands just behind you at one of the walls and then explodes.
Okay.
How do you respond to this card flying and then detonating just behind you?
It's not
And everyone else,
hitting me.
you do
Nope.
see this kind of happening as you're exiting the cavern behind Kallik. You do see this explosion triggering. Does anyone have a response to this explosion that's starting?
Can I like bend so like that as much as the people who are in my immediate like melee range, the people who I can I like stop the fire from coming in our aisle, our corridor?
Yeah, go ahead and you can give me, for that sounds like a bit of creativity. I will also accept focus, as this is a defensive style. I believe focus is for defense. Let me confirm. Oh, it's big defense. It's focus, yes. Creativity or focus.
Can I use creativity?
I will accept creativity.
Ooh, that is an 11.
11. So this card hits the wall, starts to explode, and you immediately start to siphon fire, almost like a barrier spinning in the air in front of you as the fire explosion starts. Like, you are not behind this fire barrier. Do you have a response to seeing this card light up and start to explode? It's up to you, Kallik.
No, Kallik has no defense, only offense. I'm going to charge forward at this person in the metal armor.
As you get ready to charge, I will let you know with the explosion force, it is enough to cause concussive energy that will hit you and ring your ears. We are going to mark angry as our angry condition.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm gonna uncork the gourd and waterbend some water on the lane towards this metal man, and then freeze it to slide into an ice punch to just try to
with the amount of time you do have the ability to get closer, which will be your advance, which is also considered seizing position. So you will step into the attack in advance. Now we're going to enter the combat state. We're going to do it in a very expedited form. Once this firewall drops, you will see Kallik making the attempt to move closer. Everyone has a chance to choose if they will make the defensive position to prepare a defense. They will let someone can advance and attack, or you could choose to wait and listen and make a response option.
Can I?
Who is attacking and advancing? All right, everyone
Hey.
except
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
All right, who will be defending or retreating? Got it. So, defend and retreat, you are the first step that we want to consider. Specifically, we'll start with, what is your defensive goal? I think you're muted.
Who is all closest together?
So right now, all of you except for Kallik. Kallik is maybe like one zone ahead of you.
All right. Would it be possible for me to run up to Kallik and then use my wall of perfection to create a wall surrounding the two of us to protect us from any concussive blasts?
All right. So you are choosing to make a wall around you, and that will also lock Kallik into this wall for anything that may come at.
Yeah.
Okay. We will have that wall be established. And then, Saeed, you have a defensive tactic.
Yes, so I would like to take specifically retaliate. So anytime that this foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts my balance in this exchange, I'll inflict one fatigue on them.
Okay. So then we move into the advance and attack. This metal individual will take another several sets of cards and throw them in the air. Superheated, and once more, we'll do another concussive explosion. This one will be triggering towards all those that are advancing attack, and those that basically haven't defended. So this will be for Tazu, Joey, Sai, and Tozi. You will take 1 fatigue from the explosive force.
And for flavor, in terms of the retaliation aspect, would it be possible flavor-wise to say that using maybe the airbending force to try to inflict that same effect on him, throw one back at him?
Yeah, so as one kind of detonates, you kind of focus on one of them, create an air pocket, and kind of shove the energy backwards, heading with a concussive superheat of force right back at him. Some of it kind of hits you, but you had enough focus to throw some at him. So that's solid for the retaliation. Now the rest of you do have your chance to attack. The wall that was used is destroyed, so Kallik, you can do your advancing. The defense round is over. We have started the advance and attack. The rest of you can choose to advance and attack. With Kallik being the closest, we will start with Kallik. Unless someone is trying to combo, which is options, because I know people have combo attacks. I forgot which playbook has it. I know one playbook has literally a tag team move. Yeah, that's right. The bold.
If I think, what do we know what order we ran? Because I think that
I
Joey
know that Tazu is the frontmost. I believe Joey typically is right up there, and I want to say that Tozi and Sai are kind of slightly behind that, with Uuwi kind of in the middle of it all. So I would say the front is you and Tazu, unless I'm incorrect.
Okay, well, I would like to offer the tag team skill with Tazu. And it's basically if we both work with a companion against the same foe, mark 1 fatigue to inflict 2 fatigue on the toe, using strike, even if their strike is blocked or doesn't land. So even if we miss them, they still have to strike or take 2 fatigue.
So they will take 2 fatigue no matter if the hit happens. So when Tazu makes their attack, we will see what tag team we can build out of that. Kallik, I know you've already made your idea to just ride this ice slide and go for the punch. Go ahead and roll me Passion, Kallik, for your ice punch. You're basically, I call it the Sub-Zero slide. And that again is going to be Passion.
Yeah, I thought it was needed. That is a 10.
A 10. 10 is enough. Describe to me how this happens.
So I imagine the sliding forward, the ice, the earth that kind of forms around me. I slam into it, kind of get my bearings, then it explodes. And the moment it explodes, I kick myself forward, sliding in, forming this ice kind of fist around my own fist, and just slamming it forward into this metal man's face, and kind of exploding the ice as it makes contact to do even more damage.
Solid. And you can see it causes a pretty severe dent, and part of the metal actually cracks a bit. And you can see specifically around the cheek area, you can see some of the skin underneath being revealed. I'm going to see whatever, Tozi.
Excellent, because I would like to use my my fighting technique, break, target a foe's vulnerable equipment, mark fatigue to render it useless or broken. Can I use that to, is light sources down here, are there flames that I can use, or can I?
There are no flames going on. The crystals have light in them, but those aren't flames. The closer you have to flames is maybe the burns that have been ignited from the explosive cards.
True. Do I have movement?
Yeah.
Or is that seize a position?
If you're just trying to kind of move, depending on where you're trying to move, lets me know if it's just a movement or if it's a full position seize.
Well, I'd like to, since there's not that much fire close to me. It seems like it's kind of behind me. I just want to like run up and use my hand to hand and basically just like use my break to kick whatever the mask or the metal face is and just like destroy it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me. That's gonna be passion.
9.
9 is enough. So you will be able to make your movement up. Do your hand to hand. Describe to me how you hit him.
I wanted to almost be confusing for him because like this teenage girl is running at him and I'm not bending at all, but I'm just gonna like run up and like almost do not like a double jump. It's like a running knee strike where I just run and I like give him a booted knee right to the face, and I'm like, and I'm short, but I can jump, and so I just want to like use my knee to like shatter, like just completely destroy it off his face.
And you deliver a solid kick, and you see as his head goes back, fragments of the mask are shattered and thrown in the air. The hood on his head falls off, but from this angle, you cannot see his face yet. Tazu.
So going along with the combo move here, going ahead and advancing and attacking, I'm going to go ahead and use my disorient ability or move. So pummel them with blows, mark fatigue to shift their balance, and so that's what I'm going to attempt here.
All right, go ahead and roll me passion as you do your advance and attack.
That is going to be a 12.
All right, that is a successful technique. You will get the fatigue from that high roll. Describe to me how you are doing this disorient.
So running up again, awkward. He's a gangly kid, and so he's going up as fast as he can. But as soon as he gets up to this figure, immediately goes into a very like precise and practiced combination of punches and kicks that looks like he's done this quite a bit, and it's actually kind of jarring how precise these movements are. But military training. And as he punches and kicks, more flames start coming out from his hands and feet that start to jet off around his face, around the hooded figure's face. And so that is what you'll see as he does this.
And Joey, you see Tazu run up, preparing these flames. What do? You are choosing to do a tag team. What is your combo for it?
I think I watch him do the first couple of hits and maybe pick up a little bit of a quadrant style. I'm a very smart kid, a quadrant style map that he's doing, and she's gonna stand behind him and hit with bursts to increase the force of each of his hits.
Ooh, solid. So these fires go, and then as he kind of prepares to try to avoid, it moves faster than he thought and hits. Each one he's trying to react, but slower and slower. You see him gets barreled and beat backwards, and you finally see his head really finally come forward, and the last fragments of the mask start to drop. And Tazu, you see your captain.
Captain! And immediately stunned.
You've learned well, but enough is enough. You have a right to follow the nation. So do as you're commanded and dispatch of these urchins. As he looks at the rest of Uuwi, Joey, Sai, and Kallik. And then looks over at you, Tozi. You as well. You should have been part of the military, but we'll deal with that when we get home.
No.
What is your...
No.
No?
No, we won't. What? You're down here. We heard what you were doing.
For the Fire Nation.
It may be for the Fire Nation, but it's not for these people. We've heard
These
about
people aren't ours.
And? They're people. They have their own nations.
And you see him kind of like hold cards in his hand. You're worthless anyway.
I'm gonna go
Tozi.
ahead and.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a move if that's how it works.
Yeah. Are you gonna use one of your moves?
Yes, I'm gonna use Your Rules Stink.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh damn. That's under Idealist, right?
It is, and so I can read it out if you'd like here.
Yes, please do.
So when you stand up to an adult telling them that their rules are stupid, roll with passion. On a hit, they are surprised by your argument. They must shift their balance or offer you a way forward past the rules. On a 10 plus, both. On a miss, your efforts to move them only reveal how strongly they believe in the system. Mark a condition as their resistance leaves you reeling.
All right, go ahead and roll me passion as you try to tell him his rules stink.
That is going to be 6 plus 4, 10.
10. Then you are both able to shift their balance and they will offer a way forward.
Perfect.
Past the rules. So
You know
let me
what?
shift his balance.
Count Boku, your rules stink.
You insolent, ungrateful. And you see like the blood kind of coming through as he starts to pour out of his mouth. This is what we have to do. This is not a matter of what we want. It's not a matter of what's right for these people. If we don't do this, we will be marked as traitors ourselves. And you know what happens when we're traitors. We can't go back home.
I don't know if I want to have a home that does this.
Tozi, speak to him. You know this is what we must do.
Not in my name. Not in my family's name.
And he kind of steps back, and Talion! And you see him back, taking a few more steps and leaning. Cards in hand, you can see him shaking. Talion! And you hear an echo. This is not my problem. And if you can be so easily dispatched. And you all see suddenly, as the ice protruding out of the chest of Boku from the icicle that's pierced his back. As his eyes dilate, go wide, looking at the icicle pierced in his chest. And he stumbles for a moment. And he looks between Tozi and Tazu. Perhaps we were wrong. The comet is still coming, though. And he falls forward, face down in the ground. And you see behind him, Talion, several feet away. Arms crossed now, just kind of postured, glancing. A shame. Wasn't gonna get paid anyway. Well, it's not worth my time. And he prepares to leave.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not going anywhere. And I'm gonna pull the ice that he used to kill Boku, and I'm going to try to throw it as hard as I can using the Overwhelm move.
All right, overwhelmed. You're the hammer?
I am the hammer. So it's throw a punch, but I'm flavoring it.
No, this is correct.
You're flinging some blood ice at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
With all your weight behind it, mark up to 3 fatigue or conditions in any combination to force your opponent to mark the same number of conditions.
All right, so Are you marking fatigue or conditions?
I will mark all conditions to make them mark 3 conditions.
All right. So they are
That
going
brings
to
me
mark.
to full conditions.
That is bad,
That
but
is bad.
as he turns around, you see him prepare to do the same technique as he prepares to shatter it, and you see for a moment the look of fear as it hits, smashes, and you can hear the connection of it hitting his hand and an echo of the bone snapping as you see his arm just split back. And he looks back at you. You've gotten stronger, but nonetheless, you can choose to fight me, or you can save the children in the next room, but both can't happen. And you hear the sound of ice shattering down one of the hallways, and he starts to walk away. You follow me? This whole place becomes a frosty tomb for everyone. And starts walking away. As you could see the mist forming in the area. It's cold, but not as cold as you've experienced before. And Kallik, you know, in a condensed area like this, you can follow Kallik, but you can follow Talion, but everyone in this room will freeze.
Damn it! And I'm going to use my water bending to try and melt the ice and stop the room from freezing.
All right, you are going to hold this position. I'm going to need you to roll me as you're going to try and give me focus as you try to keep the room from getting too cold. The rest of you have heard where the ice shattered, so you know where it came from.
Heading down that way.
Hi, can you make us faster?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do the help it again to try to give a little pep to Tazu's step. So I'll need a roll.
And Uuwi, can you make sure that this place doesn't crumble, because I feel like something may go wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you saying that to?
Uuwi.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to look. Is anything shaking? Do I feel any trembling?
You do feel it. Everyone else doesn't, but your connection to Earth, you feel that ice that shattered was probably keeping this cavern maintained. It didn't just shatter ice. Stone was broken from the ice.
Whether you're going. Do I see any place where there seems to be a vent coming?
You don't. It seems like a very enclosed cavern space.
All right, so I'm just going to get into a deep, wide stance and just push directly up and try to get several pillars up in the air.
I need you to also roll me a focus as you try to aid in this defensive moment. While you roll that, Kallik, what did you get for yours?
7.
7 is just enough to hold the cold, but it is biting and it is painful.
Can I draw it to me and get everyone else out?
I will allow it. You will mark. You have all conditions marked.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to mark 1 fatigue right now.
Okay.
Louis, what did you get on yours?
8.
8 is just enough to keep this cavern sustained for the time being. You are going to suffer 1 fatigue as you have made this containment. The rest of you are moving down this hallway pass, hearing where the ice shattered, and it's getting darker because the light source is faded. But as you get to a certain point, you do see what appears to be maybe a room, an enclosure that has a soft, faint light going through. Who is leading this charge? All right, Tazu, you make this turn into this room, and before you, you just see maybe a dozen kids and at least 1 elderly man and a very charismatic individual sitting there trying to cheer the kids up, trying to, oh, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay because we're gonna do what we got to. Just listen to what I say and smile. Please smile, smile, please smile. And upon like you coming in immediately, you see him. You stay away. I can fight.
No, we're here to get you out. No time to explain, but we gotta go. It's gonna be really cold. Tozi, can you keep everybody warm?
I'll see what I can do. I'm assuming, there's light coming from here? Is this another crystal situation? Is there fire?
Yeah, there is a torch in this room.
Okay, gonna use that. And like very like similar to what Kallik was doing, like kind of draw the flames towards myself so that like I'm emanating heat and kind of controlling it from a central point instead of like making a firestorm. So I'm going to turn myself into a little space heater.
Excellent. Kallik, I'm going to need you to take another fatigue as you are drawing the cold in towards you. You are creating this warmth. You're almost a beacon of warmth, Tozi, as everyone's kind of hesitant looking at the clothing you're wearing. You could tell that they're like scared of the heat as the shopkeep is kind of like stepping closer, but like in a very poorly formed brawl stance. You stay back, kids. I'm gonna deal with this. And like gets kind of close, and like as getting closer to Tozi, kind of like relaxes as you see him getting warm, and he's like, oh, toasty. Oh, ooh, that's nice. Oh, ooh. Okay, no, this works. Yeah. Our way out.
We're in a hurry, though. We should kind of go.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Joey, can you help out with the speed thing, right? You can do that too?
Yeah. Joey's been like herding all the children towards the entrance of the cavern. And then she gets behind the two that are in here, Tozi and Tazu, and then just and like pushes them all down the tunnel.
All right, with that amount of people, I'm gonna need focus or passion as you're trying to push them. Kallik, I am going to take another fatigue.
3 out of 5.
Oh my gosh.
7.
7.
See, Kallik's hair is frozen.
And
just enough to push. Uuwi, you feel the stones that you're holding the pillars starting to crumble under the weight of the fact that this cavern is collapsing. Stones are starting to drop piece by piece, dropping. And you see one, as you're all kind of moving out of this cavern, you all see one of the stones land on the body of Boku. But you're able to make your way towards this exit. The stones starting to shatter. Uuwi, you're going to take 1 fatigue as well as you, Kallik.
Would that mean if we're going back that way, would we be passing by Kallik again?
You will be. You are passing by Kallik at this moment.
Can I grab him and like put my arm around him? Because I'm now the Tozi Toasty.
Yeah, Tozi.
You can. You are aware that with how much heat you're able to generate and how cold he is, you're only going to be able to slow this frost process, but not and it's going to be a cold burn for you as well.
That's fair. Should I take a fatigue?
You will take a fatigue, as well as you are going to mark the condition afraid.
Okay.
As you feel your own heat fading away.
God, it's really hot.
Yeah.
But you are moving through the cavern, and you feel the cold almost following. As you get further, it starts to feel, you don't know if to describe it if it's warming up or if it's just not as cold, but you are making your way through, continuing, pushing through. With how cold Kallik is, each of you are going to take 1 fatigue, except for Kallik, who is being staved off that 1 fatigue right now, and you're all going to mark a condition if you have one available.
Can I assist in that since I'm also a fiery boy?
You can. You want to assist in sustaining. If you do so, you will take an additional fatigue to prevent Uuwi and everyone else from taking a fatigue.
Sure, I'll go ahead and do that.
All right, so you will take an additional fatigue. Joey, Sai, and Uuwi, you will negate that last fatigue.
Have I officially caught up with them? Because I kind of sent everyone down without my... Okay, cool.
And a question, Game Master, in terms of, I know this is a little bit different because technically not combat. With Sai using the Guardian playbook, there's an ability for a technique for divert. So essentially trying to step into the way of damage that's dealt to other of my allies to essentially suffer that damage for them. Would that be an option in this case?
I will accept it. Are you choosing to divert fatigue towards yourself?
Yes, I am.
All right. Whose fatigue are you taking?
I would
either Tozi or Tazu.
Ooh, I'll say probably Tozi. I think she's saying more.
Tozi, you can negate at least one fatigue. Sai, you're going to take an additional fatigue. The conditions will remain, but the fatigue will be switched. But you continue. Yes, Uuwi.
Are we coming through the same tunnel that we entered? Like exiting through?
That would. I'm assuming that's the way you're going because it's the only way you know for sure that leads out.
Okay. I'm trying to think of ways to get out of here as fast as possible. Are there any like platforms nearby, or like big?
There are several other passageways. You don't know the catacombs too well, but you do believe. Oh.
Is there like a thing that is big enough to fit everyone on it?
Technically, the Earth in general would be enough to fit everyone if you can lift that much mass of Earth.
I'm gonna try it.
All right. Go ahead and give me focus as you are attempting to lift, I believe, 20 people up in a massive pillar from deep underground.
Oh, not a pillar, like just a tiny raised ledge, like
are you trying to lift people like a riser? Are you trying to get everyone from underground, or?
I'm trying to get people onto this riser and then just push them out of the catacomb.
You're trying to make a sled.
Yeah, essentially.
I
forgot the word.
That's fine. I was thinking like just all the way up. Okay, like a sled. All right, give me focus as you are still trying to get 20 people and to push them.
That is 5.
Ooh.
You attempt to lift the earth, but it's not enough to do so. So much so that the earth kind of shakes a little more, and it causes this place to drop several stones, which misses everyone. But that was a lot of mass to try to push. You're going to suffer 1 fatigue. And you're going to mark the condition foolish or insecure.
Insecure.
I try to assist by making ice to slide on to push the sled.
You can attempt. Go ahead and give me focus.
Oh, that's my worst one. Why do you keep making me roll that? 6.
6. You attempt to push, but you don't have enough mobility. Your body, you feel almost frost to your bones, and you attempt to try to push this sled, and you feel your body getting colder as you attempt to bend. You will suffer another fatigue.
I think I fall over, friends.
No, is that you max out your fatigue and conditions?
Yeah.
You fall unconscious.
Oh God.
Okay.
Would it be?
I hear 2 people.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, Sai.
I was wondering if it'd be possible to try to utilize airbending to try propel from the position that we're in currently.
Mm-hmm. You can attempt to propel to accelerate this escape.
Yes. And because I have a total of 8 between conditions and fatigue marked, I get to take a +1 on going to all moves because I have a martyr complex. So.
All right.
Go
ahead and give me. As you're trying to push, that'll be focus, but because you're going martyr route, I also accept passion.
Okay, I'll take focus on that. Let's see here. Awesome. It's going to be an 11.
So with an 11, you watch as Uuwi attempts to get this sled, as trying to keep the pillars from making this whole place collapse. The sled partially forms. Kallik's frost body starts to move slowly and attempts to push, but the ice freezes over their body and they fall over, rigid. In that moment, you decide to take a deep breath. Silence fills this room, a deafening silence, and almost like a sonic boom erupts from your form, propelling this entire way down. Behind you, the chasm starts to converge on itself, collapsing, the crumbling of stone, the ground shaking as everyone ends up flying forward, colliding pretty hard against the wall, but into an area that's familiar as the ground starts to rise.
We've got Kallik with us at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like
Kallik got thrown in the air.
Like an ice cube.
All of you have made it through, and the ground starts to rise, and you find yourself at the edge, opening to another cavern with several teens kind of like looking at you, and you see one of the two familiar boys run up and grab hold of their sister, Ellie. As they're hugging, other people are kind of greeting, and they each are kind of like looking at you, and most are smiling, albeit crying for being reunited. And you hear the creaking of the wheels. Well, I'm guessing with the fact that you found the children that you dealt with whatever was going on down there?
Kind of. Unfortunately, it came to violence, but there wasn't another way.
I'm glad that was able to happen, because we now have another problem. Prince Jian was assassinated.
How?
Impaled by an ice. And now the Dali are hunting all waterbenders in Ba Sing Se indiscriminately. And that is where we end today's session.
Can't we catch a break?
Come party.
No, can't catch a break in not at this time.
No breaks in Ba Sing Se.
You have time to lean, you have time to clean.
That concludes this portion of the Untold Legends for these amazing members that help shift balance one way or the other. So let us know about the components that shift the gears of fate. That's an old reference for these individuals. Everyone give a chance to remind people who you play, who you are, where they can find you. And we will start with Uuwi.
Uuwi Shiicish. That was my character tonight. Outside of that, I'm called Aragidi. I am a drag artist and activist. You can find me on Instagram and Twitch at underscore ARAGIDI, and also TikTok. I also do a lot of live shows around Minneapolis. You can find me usually at the Saloon or Twin Spirits Distillery up in Northeast. And I also just want to urge everyone to please donate to the Line 3 bail funds and camp funds. Frontline water protectors have been holding space here in the Capitol over the past few days to urge Tim Waltz, Tar Sands Tim, to please revoke the permits for Enbridge Line 3 pipeline. It passes through critical habitat, 240 separate bodies of water, including the headwaters of the Mississippi. They are pumping 5 billion gallons of water during an era of exceptional drought. The headwaters of the Mississippi River, which feed 18 million people, are slow to barely a trickle. And it passes through land that is granted to the Anishinaabe under treaty law, which gives them rights to hunt, fish, and harvest wild rice. This puts so many people at risk, not just indigenous people. When we protect water, we're protecting your water too. Please help us in this fight.
And I want to echo that sentiment. The balance of all things that we know, of all forms of nature, the elements, and the people, depend on us to make a difference. So support your local water tribe and come on, help out. Please, do not be Italian. Be a Kallik. Do water right. On that note, Kallik.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beau. I was playing Kallik, the waterbending pirate. You can find me on social media at Dorky Teacher. You can find me on Twitch at just Dorky Teacher, where we play all sorts of video games. You can also find me tomorrow over on the Lady Dames channel, where we are playing a D&D game that is entirely set in the Talespire platform. So it's a very different experience. We're not looking at each other's faces while we're doing it. We're just all playing in that little 3D space. Very, very fun stuff.
Talespire is super cool, so definitely want to check that out.
I'm not gonna lie, Talespire is super addicting. I spent all day one time just
the
building
maps
nonsensical stuff
that our DM does are incredible. I'm constantly amazed at the work that they're able to do. So,
speaking of incredible, Tozi.
My name is Rachel. I was playing Tozi. It didn't come up, but like her whole deal is like she's a mafia baby. So like my family is organized crime. I'm an actor, artist. You can find me on Instagram at Bad Duck Design. I make things that are geeky and gay. You can find me on Twitch at Sugarpunk. And I think I'm going to be playing on Bree. Are we playing on Monday with Josh?
Monday?
On the 30th or something?
Oh my gosh. With
Come on, get your
I'm
calendar
a
together.
little out of the loop right now. I'm sorry, Josh.
It's okay. We'll more stuff about it. We'll be playing again soon.
You know, speaking of being confused about what's going on and upsetting that you're unaware of, Tazu.
Yeah. So I played Tazu. My name's Casey, and I had a blast tonight. This is I don't know anything about Avatar. I had no idea how to play in this system because I'm just a D&D guy, and so this was super fun. I absolutely enjoyed it, and completely out of my element because I don't know if you can tell. I don't do young voices. You know, it's surprising. I know.
Hey, everybody has got a Zuko in them. You don't get the reference, but you know.
Yeah, he's the uncle that everybody loves, right?
Yes.
Uncle Zuko. Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Yep.
I definitely got it. You can find me on mainly Twitch at Alpha Blue Official. I do MMORPGs typically, and actually directly after this, DJ Dance Party. So yeah, come and exactly do that with me.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I do really want to say I loved Bree's call out of you being out of your element.
It was just so perfectly flavored, and yep. I mean, it was amazing. And speaking of amazing, Joey.
Hey everybody, I'm Christine, or Slumberjane across all medias. You can just find me here on Twitch mostly, or on Discord. I played Joey, the Airbender, the bold, brash, and great. Yeah, and half of the best delivery team in Boston say.
When you need to get your mail right on time, we've got the piece so that you'll do it right. Do, 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 do. And the other half of that is Sai.
We have a musical number now, a little interlude for everyone. It's wonderful. Thank you, Jay. But yeah, so my name's Brianna Flame. I was playing Sai tonight, the other half of that awesome duo. She was a airbender utilizing the Guardian playbook. And you can find me on social media at Brianna Flame. I'm a channel organizer here on the Initiative Order, and I'm also a cast member for Second Star to the Right. It is a Neverland 5e stream that's every other Friday. This coming Friday will be one session over at Second Star Show. And I'm also very, very happy that the channel is, again, an ambassador for Jaspers Game Day. So fantastic nonprofit organization built on community and preventing suicide through tabletop gaming. But I had a ton of fun tonight, so thanks everyone for watching.
It's amazing. I do want to give a special thank you to our tech producer, Danny, who's doing all the behind the scenes for making the transitions between the intro and all that, coordinating the music and making everything look good. A special shout out to Bree for creating the overlay and the intro stuff for today's stream. It was truly worth the legend being told. And what can I say? It's been Jay Casual. If I'm on all social media at Just Too Casual. You can also find me on the second half of tomorrow's awesome events for the Initiative Order. We have, I can never remember how to pronounce it. Simba Room at 12 p.m. Pacific, followed by Far Realms at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be very exciting at the top end and terrifying at the bottom end, creating a very spoopy, flavorful sandwich. This has also been part of the quick start guide for the game, Powered by the Apocalypse, Avatar Legends by Magpie. The Kickstarter is still live for you to contribute to it if you'd like. The quick start guide is actually free. You can check out their website for the quick start guide to download your own copy to play a quick start at your home until the book comes out, where you can explore amazing eras and have an amazing experience. And I don't ever end a stream without doing my most casual way of words. And I do have a few words to share that I think is very fitting of an Avatar setting. For those that know Avatar and for those that don't, Avatar is about the balance of all four elements, the world of the material plane and the world of the spiritual world. And the biggest thing we face are those challenges of keeping that balance. We always try to fight to make everything perfect, make everything good, make everything right. The challenge shouldn't be to make everything right. What we should do is focus on understanding things can be bad, because that's what makes good valuable. So if you have a bad day, you're having a bad time, just know good times are literally right on the other side. And just like we're Ambassador Jaspers Game Day, I want to make sure I emphasize that. If you ever feel like you're having a bad day and that bad day is getting worse, I tell everyone my inbox on all social medias and all platforms are completely open, because I'd rather hear bad news from you than bad news about you. Whenever the light shines, rainbows are on the other side. In the most rainiest of days, the clouds will part. The one thing we're guaranteed to happen tomorrow, if nothing else, is the sun will come up. So I hope that you will too, because I love each and every one of you, from the players that share this table, to the tech running it all, to the viewers that watch it live, the VOD, and every person I've met before now, after now, and to the end of time. Thank you. I love you all. Be sure to love yourself. And above all else, stay casual.